So there are four main consumer drivers that base the decisions that consumers make today regarding what products they buy. We want to make sure you guys know about them. If you like this video and you learned something, please give it a like and subscribe. Vark, talk about the four main consumer drivers that we see for 2024.
So when we're looking at helping our customers building out their brands or adjusting existing brands, they used to just talk on a very high level about brand loyalty, and now we look deeper into what does that really mean. So the first aspect of the 2024 consumer, whether it's looking at the in-store experience, the e-commerce experience, the buying experience, or just the general national feeling about what the brand's communicating to the people, is sustainability. Huge piece of how people are buying. Obviously, the younger generations especially are literally making decisions based off of how sustainable the packaging is, or how sustainable the overall feeling of the brand is. What do they stand for? What are they doing? And of course, we know sustainability on our side is mainly focused on packaging, but it means a lot more, right? What do they talk about as far as greenhouse and gas emissions? Are they using environmentally friendly factories and materials? Do they try to reduce the overall footprint on their transportation? So it's a massive driver in the industry right now. Not only for the younger generations, people think about, oh yeah, Claire's and limited these younger brands, but it's really massive for across the gamut right now.
Every business it touches, and there's more to sustainability certainly than just packaging. But a lot of people have said to me, if the brand chooses sustainable packaging, that's a good indicator that they care about sustainability. I'd be curious if you guys drop in the comments below. Do you agree with that? If you see a brand in your everyday life that uses sustainable packaging, does that give you a positive perception that the brand is sustainable? Comment below. Curious to hear your thoughts.
Nicely said. An easy way to say it too. Oh yeah, we're a sustainable brand, and you've got a giant clamshell with billions of plastic components and 15 different materials.
You gotta walk the walk.
You gotta walk the walk. It's easy to see when it's on the shelves.
So let's jump into the next driver.
Okay, next we talk about the value of the brand, value and ethics. So what does the company stand for? Okay, do you guys align when the consumer's looking at the brands? Do their values and ethics align with mine? What they stand for? Do they give back to the community? Do they care about the small local industry and supporting the founder's hometown? Do they care on a global scale about reducing their overall carbon footprint, or maybe the plastics or the materials that they're using? Are they looking from a standpoint of charitable donations? A famous case of Tom's, sell one and give one away. So you have the moral and the ethical connection to a brand. And again, now people that there's more transparency and there's more social media and there's connections. They really know how a brand performs and what goes on behind the walls. When before, a company could just put a bunch of marketing out,
you had no visibility,
pay a bunch of advertisers, and you would think that Coca-Cola is the greatest, most fun company in the world when they could be doing devious things behind the scene, right? Much of the pharmaceutical industry, I think, still operates that way. So we have that value and ethics side that we have to be thinking about all the time.
The pharma ads, they put you in a state of mind you think you're floating while
exactly.
they're giving the
Pfizer cured
disclaimers.
COVID, great, and now they're doing what they did. We won't talk about that. We don't want to get banned from YouTube here.
All right, very good. And I think there's a lot of there's a lot of overlap here where sustainability is part of values and ethics, is it not? There's some overlap between these drivers.
I think you'll see a lot of the drivers are connected to each other, most likely, because they all are connected with one another, and we can talk about them through the different drivers themselves. Okay, so then we have talk about ethics. You talk about well-being. So ethics is the stance that the company takes. Well-being, you see it more in health and beauty, health and wellness. This is the big kick. Combining fitness and fashion, what you are is what you eat, right? So we talk about that. But then you also have well-being as far as the inspirational stance. A lot of the messaging, hope, believe, love, are these buzzwords. You talk about best friends. So the inspirational well-being side of how the brand speaks to the consumer, and not only like how they operate, but again, the marketing and the promotional side behind what well-being really means.
Marketing aside, you talk about COVID. I think in the aftermath of COVID, well-being has become more of a pillar of the society, and we're thinking about being grounded and trying to stay as healthy as possible. So I think that's now translating into how people are thinking and ultimately how they make some of their buying decisions.
Good. Caring about yourself, taking care of yourself, self-care, right? It's not just in the health industry, but it's in all industries.
Yeah, the idea of burning yourself out to zero, working 90 hours a week, and then like collapsing is sort of questioning if that's really the right path. You want to work hard, but you don't want to take it too far. So
That's right.
the final trend.
And then you have, just classic anecdotal personal experience. You talk about, the customer experience, how you deliver that customer experience. Our classic, our father's business was mainly driven by in-store retail. So we used to look at fashion brands, and you go into the store and you see a beautiful rack, and there's color consistency and there's brand integrity. And when you take a product off the rack, it feels nice in your hands. The ergonomic, famous feel of, the iPhone box where you open it up and you feel that beautiful suction, that form fit. So that the user experience, the personal experience, and how these products have affected your life, whether it's just the purchasing process, like the cool, you go to someone's website, you have a cool interactive experience, or the unboxing experience of receiving something, having a beautiful care card with great tissue paper, opening a box. Oh my God, this is great. So you want to, the buying experience, but then also the use of the product and how it makes you feel over time, the personal connection.
I even think like Thrive Market, where I buy some groceries online, little touches, they're not the only ones to do it, but they'll actually write the name of the person who packed it and a Sharpie on the box. So like little personal touches comes to mind. And then the other thing that comes to mind is just the idea in the cannabis packaging business, which is where I focus most of my time. The point that I've been making from the beginning is using differentiated packaging. Don't just throw the flower in a standard jar. And people say, oh, it's just the product that matters. Mm-hmm. Giving a customized personal experience. It's not as personal as the Thrive, but it reminds me of that, the idea of differentiating, not being mass market, not selling vanilla one color. Is like, in today's society, it's more about those personalized, customized flavors, going more niche, being more differentiated. Just another twist on what you're saying.
I like it too. And we think about from a business to business standpoint, where one of our sayings with our sales team is people buy from people they know. I like some of these bigger companies, even they've taken it to the next step in the business to consumer. Yeah, they like to buy from another person too. You don't want to be buying from a robot or an assembly line. You want to know, this guy packed my food. This guy made my food. This guy squeezed the grapes with his raw hands, right? You want to know that. So from our standpoint, from the business to business, we try to say, get our salespeople out there, have face-to-face, connect with the customer. Even this, it's like a nice connection, that we are people and not just a conglomerate. But from a business to consumer standpoint, I think it's really great too.
Maybe that accelerates too with AI, where everything's going to be
100%.
Automated and people are going to be cut out. And how do you find ways to add the personal touch?
Exactly.
That's
right.
probably driving that too. All right, so those are our 4 consumer drivers. Consider them if you want to implement them in your packaging. Reach out to us, wow@contemplepackaging.com. Thanks, Vark, for being on the show.
Peace and love.